The main reason I'm here is to clear my name that I have nothing to do with Bitcoin, nothing to do with developing. I was just an engineer doing something else. And if you look at the time span, 2001, when it was supposed to be developed, I wasn't there. I was working for the government through a contracting company. That's not me. I never communicated with Bitcoins.
Okay.
Leah wrote all this?
Yeah.
2010 to 2000. I was at home.
Okay.
I wasn't working for anybody.
Okay.
I just believe that somebody put that fictitious name in there. Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin.
In a world of constant technological evolution, one innovation stands out as perhaps the most revolutionary of our time. It's not a new social media platform or a faster computer chip or even artificial intelligence. It's a radical reimagining of something humanity has used for thousands of years: money itself. Throughout human history, the story of civilization has been intertwined with the story of money. From the shells used by ancient peoples, to the gold coins of empires, to the paper bills in your wallet today, money has always been about trust, value, and the agreements we make as a society.
What do you think the biggest moment in the history of Bitcoin was?
It's when Satoshi walked away.
But we don't even know if that's a real guy.
That's why I think it's important. It's like one of the most selfless acts in the world is you create this digital, decentralized, peer-to-peer software payment system, and then you have 800,000 Bitcoin, and you walk away and you never touch them.
Oh, so he just still has them?
Yeah, they're sitting in a wallet. You can see them, they never moved. It's a lot of money. And so like in some way, it's a system where there are rules, but not rulers. There's nobody who's gonna change the code, right? There's nobody who is the CEO. Like it is a truly decentralized system. And the fact that we don't know who Satoshi is means that you can't attack it.
But in 2009, as the world was reeling from a global financial crisis, something extraordinary happened. A mysterious figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto introduced a new kind of money, one that didn't require banks, didn't need governments, and couldn't be controlled by any single entity. This was Bitcoin. To understand why Bitcoin matters, we need to start with a fundamental truth. Our current financial system, despite its digital veneer, is still built on centuries-old ideas. When you use your credit card or send money through your banking app, you're really just sending messages between banks, asking them to update their private ledgers. What most people don't realize is that traditional banking is essentially a system of trust and promises. When you deposit money in a bank, you trust that institution to keep track of your wealth and handle it responsibly. But Bitcoin proposed something radical. What if we could create money that didn't require us to trust any institution? What if the rules governing money could be written in mathematical code rather than legal documents? What if everyone could verify everything for themselves? At its core, Bitcoin works on three revolutionary principles: decentralization, transparency, and mathematical scarcity. Let's break these down. First, decentralization. Instead of having banks and governments maintain the financial ledger, Bitcoin's ledger, called the blockchain, is maintained by thousands of computers worldwide. Every transaction is verified not by a central authority, but by consensus across this vast network. The genius of Bitcoin's design is that it created a system where strangers can agree on the state of a financial ledger without having to trust each other. It's like having thousands of independent accountants all checking each other's work simultaneously. The blockchain is like a public record book where every Bitcoin transaction ever made is recorded. Once information is written into this digital ledger, it can never be changed or erased. This brings us to our second principle: transparency. Think of traditional banking like a private diary. Only the bank can see all your transactions, and you can only see your own account details. If you want to know about other transactions or verify the bank's records, you have to trust that they're being honest and accurate. Bitcoin flips this model completely. The blockchain, Bitcoin's transaction record, is like a giant public spreadsheet that anyone can view. Imagine a massive digital ledger where every single Bitcoin transaction ever made is recorded chronologically, whether it's a purchase made yesterday or a transaction from 2009, you can see it all. Using special tools called blockchain explorers, anyone with internet access can verify transactions, check wallet balances, and trace the movement of Bitcoins through the network. This radical transparency helps prevent fraud and manipulation, since any suspicious activity would be visible to everyone. But how does new Bitcoin come into existence? This brings us to one of the most fascinating aspects of the system, Bitcoin mining. Think of Bitcoin mining as a global competition where participants race to solve incredibly complex mathematical puzzles using powerful computers. Just like gold miners invest in equipment to extract precious metals, Bitcoin miners invest in specialized computers and electricity to compete in this digital mining process. Here's what makes this system brilliant. When miners solve these puzzles, they're actually verifying and securing recent Bitcoin transactions. It's like they're acting as digital accountants, checking and confirming that all transactions are legitimate. As a reward for this work, miners receive newly created Bitcoins, similar to how traditional miners are rewarded with gold they discover. This creates a powerful incentive structure. Because miners invest substantial money in their equipment and electricity, they're motivated to play by the rules. Acting dishonestly would risk their entire investment and future mining rewards. The more resources miners invest, the more they're committed to maintaining the network's integrity. The system also controls the release of new Bitcoins in a predictable way. New Bitcoins are created roughly every 10 minutes when puzzles are solved, following a predetermined schedule that gradually reduces the reward over time. This creates a transparent and fair distribution method that everyone can verify, unlike traditional currencies where central banks can create money at will. This elegant system ensures network security while distributing new Bitcoins in a systematic, transparent way that can't be manipulated by any single party. Graph showing Bitcoin supply curve. This brings us to our third principle, mathematical scarcity. Unlike traditional currencies, which can be printed at will by governments, Bitcoin has a fixed supply cap of 21 million coins. This isn't just a promise, it's mathematically guaranteed by the code. This scarcity has led many to view Bitcoin as digital gold. Like the precious metal, Bitcoin can't be created arbitrarily, requires work to produce, and has value partly because of its rarity. But Bitcoin isn't just a theoretical construct. It's being used right now all around the world. Let's look at some real-world applications. In countries with unstable currencies, Bitcoin offers an alternative store of value. In Venezuela, where hyperinflation has devastated the local currency, some citizens have turned to Bitcoin to preserve their savings. In El Salvador, it's even become legal tender. What we're seeing is the emergence of a truly global, borderless monetary system. Bitcoin doesn't care about national boundaries or political systems. It works the same way for everyone, everywhere. Using Bitcoin is simpler than many people think. A Bitcoin wallet is essentially a software application that can receive and send Bitcoin. Each wallet has a public address, like an email address where you can receive Bitcoin, and a private key that allows you to send Bitcoin. Bitcoin's security system represents a remarkable technological achievement. The network is protected by an enormous amount of computing power, far greater than what all the world's supercomputers could muster together. It uses the same robust encryption principles that safeguard sensitive military communications and banking systems, making it extremely resistant to attacks or manipulation. However, this exceptional security comes with significant energy requirements. The computers that maintain and secure the Bitcoin network consume substantial electricity, comparable to the energy usage of some small countries. This has sparked intense debates about Bitcoin's environmental impact and sustainability. What makes this discussion particularly nuanced is how Bitcoin mining is evolving. Mining operations are increasingly setting up in locations with abundant renewable energy sources. For instance, miners in Iceland use geothermal power, while operations in China's Sichuan province tap into excess hydroelectric capacity during rainy seasons. This shift toward renewables is happening because miners naturally seek the cheapest available energy sources to maximize their profits. Moreover, Bitcoin's energy consumption is driving innovation in the renewable energy sector. Mining operations are helping to finance new renewable energy projects and improving the economic viability of solar, wind, and hydroelectric power installations in remote locations. They can act as reliable baseline energy customers, making renewable projects more financially feasible.
People use crypto to pay off ransoms. Let's say hackers will go into the medical records of a hospital, pull out or lock or freeze that information, and they won't give it back until they're paid off in crypto. You can't ever get your money back. It's an irreversible transaction done on the blockchain. That's the end of it.
As we look to the future, Bitcoin's influence extends far beyond just money. The underlying blockchain technology is inspiring new solutions in fields from supply chain management to digital identity verification. We're seeing the development of Lightning Network, a second-layer protocol that makes Bitcoin transactions faster and cheaper. Smart contracts and decentralized finance applications are building new financial tools that operate without traditional intermediaries. What we're witnessing is just the beginning. Bitcoin has proven that we can create digital systems of value that don't require central authorities. This concept will likely transform many aspects of how we organize society. In many ways, Bitcoin represents more than just a new form of money. It's a new way of thinking about trust, value, and human cooperation. It shows us that through clever use of technology, we can create systems that align individual incentives with collective benefits. Whether Bitcoin becomes the dominant form of money in the future or remains a digital alternative to traditional finance, its impact is undeniable. It has started a conversation about the nature of money itself and shown us that alternatives to our current financial system are possible. As we stand at the crossroads of traditional and digital finance, Bitcoin offers us a glimpse of a possible future, one where money moves as freely as information, where financial access is a universal right, and where trust is built into the very fabric of the system through mathematics and code.